All right, today we're heading out into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. We're going to a place that has spooked sailors for centuries, a place where the normal rules of time and space just seem to fall apart. You know what I'm talking about, the Bermuda Triangle. So let's get our bearings. We're talking about this strange patch of ocean that stretches between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. And for a lot of people, those aren't just points on a map. They mark the borders of a gateway to, well, the unknown. You know, if you were just sailing through on a calm day, it might look like paradise. Just endless blue water, clear skies. But for those who really know these waters, they'll tell you that tranquility is just a mask, hiding something deeper, something turbulent and unexplainable.
And look, this isn't some new age myth that popped up recently. Nope. This fear goes back for centuries. We've got records of Spanish sailors way back in the 15th century trying to avoid this area. Even the man himself, Christopher Columbus, wrote in his journals about seeing weird lights dancing on the horizon and his compass just going completely haywire.
But what really kicked this whole thing into high gear? What took the Bermuda Triangle from a spooky sailor's tale to a full-blown global mystery was one single, absolutely chilling event that happened back in 1945. And here's where it gets really crazy. This was supposed to be a totally routine training mission. 5 Navy planes, a clear afternoon, and then bam, the flight reader's voice crackles over the radio, panicked. Both of his compasses are out. His transmissions get more and more confused until there's just static. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, the massive rescue plane sent to find them, it vanished too. Just think about that for a second. In just a few hours, 6 airplanes and 27 men were just gone. And not a single shred of evidence was ever found. No wreckage, no oil slick, no life rafts, nothing. It was like they just blinked out of existence. These were some of the last words ever heard from the flight leader. Can you just imagine hearing that crackle over the radio? The voice of a highly trained pilot, completely lost and disoriented before being swallowed by the silence. So naturally, in the years since, you've got this massive effort by investigators and scientists. They've been desperately trying to apply logic to these events, searching for some kind of rational explanation for things that seem, well, completely irrational. And look, science has come up with some pretty wild but plausible ideas. There's talk of magnetic anomalies in this specific spot on Earth that could totally mess with the compass. Another theory is giant eruptions of methane gas from the seafloor, which could basically cause the water to lose its density and swallow a ship whole. Then you have rogue waves. We're talking 100-foot walls of water. And get this, satellites have spotted these bizarre hexagonal clouds that can create what they call air bombs with winds like a hurricane. Okay, so those theories sound pretty solid, right? They could explain some of it, but do they explain everything? Not even close. They struggle to explain the complete lack of wreckage in so many cases, and they sure don't explain some of the really strange experiences from people who actually made it through. And this, my friends, is where we kind of leave the science textbooks behind and step into something that feels a lot more like science fiction. We're moving from official reports to eyewitness accounts that just defy everything we think we know. So let me tell you about this pilot, a guy named Bruce Gernon. Back in 1970, he flew his plane into something he called electronic fog. He said it wasn't just a normal cloud. He described it as a dense, swirling, tunnel-like vortex that just appeared around him. I mean, can you even imagine how surreal that would be? He's inside this bizarre fog tunnel. All of his instruments, electronic, magnetic, they just go crazy. He said even though he had the engine pushed to the max, he had this incredible sensation of being completely motionless, just hanging there in space. But the craziest part is what happened when he came out the other side. A flight that should have taken him well over half an hour was somehow over in just a couple of minutes. He just appeared over Miami Beach. Air traffic control never even saw him on their radar until he was just there. It's like he jumped through space and time. And here's the thing, it's not just him. You hear these stories over and over from other pilots and sailors, tales of mysterious blue and green lights zipping around underneath the waves, storms that pop up out of nowhere in a perfectly clear sky and then just vanish. And maybe the creepiest of all, this sense of lost time, where clocks and watches on board just stop or lose minutes for no reason. So this is really the heart of the mystery, isn't it? It's where all these things collide. You have the hard, documented facts like Flight 19, you have plausible scientific theories, and then you have these incredible eyewitness stories that just seem to break all the rules of physics. And you'd think today, with all our technology, with GPS, with satellites that can see everything, this would all be a thing of the past. But it's not. The area is still weird. It's a place that constantly reminds us that we really don't have all the answers, not by a long shot. So what are we left with? What are you supposed to make of all this? Is the Bermuda Triangle just a perfect storm of rare natural phenomena all happening in one place? Is it some kind of strange pocket where all our laws of physics get bent out of shape? Or is it something else entirely? A portal, like the old legends say? You know, maybe we're not supposed to solve it. Maybe the triangle is just there, a silent observer, reminding us that our world is still packed with mysteries, and there are huge parts of the map we still don't fully understand. Whatever the truth is, the riddle just keeps on challenging everything we think we know about our planet.